Good evening, everyone. Welcome to IIMA-BPGP webinar. I don't know if I should call this a webinar because this is going to be a very candid chat with those people who are living this BPGP experience. And who better to share this with you than our own students. So joining us today, we have 7 students. A few are still in class, so they'll be joining us shortly. And I think this is the testimony of what BPGP requires from their students. Also, my name is Priyansha. I lead the admissions at the BPGP program. Joining me today is Reshmi. She heads the academics at the BPGP program. So let me just quickly take you through the flow of the event today. We will be having a moderated session with our students. We will be asking them a few questions. And of course, they'll be sharing their experiences. And we will later be opening up the floor for your questions. So in between, if you have any questions, please keep them ready for the end. And let's begin. And if you want to ask your questions, please ensure to raise your hand so we know who to call out. So guys, are you ready? Let's start. So firstly, a very simple question. Please introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, what have you been doing, and how are you doing today? Let's start with you, Ajit.
Oh, thank you. I'm doing great today. I'm one of the students that just stepped out of class virtually. My name is Ajit Nair. I'm a chartered accountant. I have about 13 years work ex. I currently work as CFO for a marketing company called EO2EXP, and I'm part of the first batch of BPGP. So I'm now in term 5 out of 6. And I love everything about BPGP. I'm glad to tell you guys more about it.
Yes, Abha.
Hi, everybody. I am Abha Sheth. I am 17 years experience, the pioneer batch again, classmate of Ajit. And I am from Larsen and Toubro. So I am pursuing this while I'm being in marketing, business development, project management, and strategy roles in the company together. So I'm all ears and all there to hear your questions and give answers to all of you. Please feel free.
Yes, Pooja.
I mean, listening to Abha and Ajit, I do feel like a kid now because I have about 7 years of experience. I'm an investment advisor, a director with the Incred Group. So what I do is I make the rich people of India richer. I kind of advise them where to invest their money. Yeah, been a finance person. I did my CFA, all 3 levels. My charter is pending now. Yeah, that's about me. And again, part of the first cohort of BPGP, and huge kudos actually to my colleagues because we kind of entered BPGP when it was new. We had a lot of questions unanswered, and I'm glad that, I mean, you guys have people like us to tell you what to do and what not to do. So yeah, looking forward to the panel.
Yes, Nidhi.
Everyone. So I'm Nidhi. I am part of the first year, the program which is going on right now. I have around 21 years of experience and I'm a VP at NatWest Group, which is a UK and Scottish bank. Done many roles throughout these 21 years, but right now here I am doing my MBA, kind of sharpening my lenses again. Yeah, and happy to answer any of the questions from you.
Thank you, Nidhi. Yes, Kaushik.
Hi everyone. Kaushik this side. I'm working as a plan director with Johnson & Johnson, having around 26 years of experience in manufacturing and supply chain. And definitely this course is eye-opener for me, although I have attended multiple courses in global and national level. But this has helped me to curate some of the fundamental things of operations, which I am applying in my day-to-day job. And I will be happy to answer any of the questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kaushik. I think we have also Deepak joining us. He will be joining us shortly. So guys, one very common question. Why BPGP? Any one of you wants to take it up?
Yeah, I think I can go. For me, when people ask me this question, and I was asked this question in my interview, in fact, at IIMA, the answer is why not BPGP? Because A, you're connected to the industry throughout those 2 years. B, I feel that your peers, and peer discussion is one of the most valued things in MBA.
Yes, sir.
Their CXOs is sitting at levels where they've already been there, done that, seen a lot of things. So the kind of discussions that happen in class are of supreme quality. The other thing also is that the entire environment, I feel, is more collaborative, not competitive, because you're not kind of underpinning each other to get that job role, but you're enhancing each other's capabilities, not just by contributions, but I mean, everybody here has contributed to the point where we've brought in our connections, we've brought in our a lot of things beyond just knowledge sharing. So yeah, BPGP is the way to go.
Akanksha, we missed out on getting to know you. So can you also introduce yourself and tell us why BPGP?
Yeah, hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Akanksha, and I am BPGP from T2, second year batch. And my portfolio and my background is quite different from everyone. So I am currently serving in Indian Air Force. I am a pilot in Air Force, and this is very different. Why everyone was very curious initially that why I want to do a MBA. To upgrade myself, I really wanted to study, and this BPGP has been a like life-changing decision for me. And this is absolutely different. From my hectic schedule, how I am managing, thanks to the BPGP office and my study group, which pulls me through every time, and they have been extensively supportive. And if I talk about the program, then it's a eye-opening program. It's a new horizon for me, and I am not doing for it's not for my technically it is not going to help my in my service in my promotions or anything, but however it is entirely for my upgradation. So how the India works and how the outside world is working and everything is moving at a very fast pace, so that's how BPGP is helping me.
Thank you, Akanksha. Yes, Nidhi, you wanted to share something.
Yes, right. So I just wanted to answer why BPGP. I think with my years of experience and the responsibilities which I hold, for me, it's very difficult, full, in the campus kind of course. But having said that, I was never looking for just a degree. I really wanted something which can fine tune me to a different level. And post selection in IIMA Ahmedabad, I believe there can be nothing better which would have come my way, right? The quality of the professors which is like it is just amazing. It feels like there is the professor who teaches us macroeconomics. He just walks out of the World Economic Forum, or there is somebody else who has papers written in such a way that Tim Cook refers to it, right? So that is the quality which I'm getting here without losing out on all the other aspects which I have to manage, at this age. And I would say, yeah, with these many responsibilities around me. So BPGP is, it is grilling, it's rigorous, nothing, I would not say it's an easy game at all, but then, I'm able to manage it along with all my.
I think we dropped Nidhi there. Meanwhile, Ajit, you had raised your hand as well. Do you want to tell us how
Yes,
these
I
many years
actually
of
lowered my
experience?
hand because a lot of what I'm saying is what Nidhi was saying as well. Why BPGP is a very personal choice because there are so many things that each person that's in BPGP is balancing. There is primarily your office, your home, and this course, and that mix is different for everybody. But one perspective definitely is that there is one significant part of the cohort which does not want to take a break from work right now, and doesn't want to do that because that wouldn't be that valuable, or doesn't want to move out of their home, has a family that they're rooted to, and couldn't move, but fortunately now in 2026 that doesn't have to get in the way of getting a good MBA. And a good MBA has all the things that Pooja, that Akanksha and Nidhi were talking about: a great cohort, unbelievable professors, a great network, and peers that actually push you forward rather than hold you back.
Yeah. Deepak, we finally have you with us. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and why BPGP?
Yeah, thank you guys. Unfortunately, my laptop decided it was not time for me to join yet. I'm joining from my phone now. So my name is Deepak. I'm the director of Medimal's Healthcare. It's a startup that I've been running for the past 2 years. So to answer the question of why BPGP for me personally was, of course, like Ajit mentioned, it was about the connects. The kind of industry wealth that comes into the classroom, it's simply amazing. I think we have some of the industry leaders who are shaping their respective industries, and we learn equally from them as we learn from our professors. I think that was one. I envisaged how this is how the cohort would be, and this is how the course would be, and then the course is exactly like that. That was one main reason for me to join the course.
Great. Thank you, Deepak. Rashmi, would you like to ask something?
Yeah, Kaushik, you had also raised.
Yeah, I think most of the part Ajit, Nidhi, and Deepak has covered. But another part of this was, see, the filtering, the criteria like written test, interview, that also select the cohort quality. Okay, because you are getting around 120 odd people, the finest sprint from the country who will be competing. So quality of cohort is there. And second thing is that also it's a MBA degree. Okay, so these are the two unique combination which I think only BPGP can offer. So that's why I have chosen for BPGP.
Thank you, Kaushik.
So, guys, just wanted to ask, was there anything about the program that actually like completely challenged your perspective or your expectations when you joined this program?
And you're not allowed to say program by itself. Yes, go ahead, guys. Yes, Abha.
Okay, so per se, the biggest challenge that I thought that I can manage it all, and I pushed myself with a conviction that yes, I can do it and I want to do it, right? But when you just step into it, you start feeling that you are pushed to a level that रात को नींद नहीं आएगी यार. At times it happens like that. The urge of studying and that deadlines urge, it moves to that level ki I feel like I lost my sleep, and that was passionately losing sleep. Passion about learning. I mean, that was the wonderful thing. I don't know, after so many years of leaving the actual studies, college and all, coming back to academics itself was a big decision for me. So for me, after 16 years, coming back to academics was the biggest challenge. First year was a real tough one, but yes, I think it just flows down, and they the faculty and everyone in the class, and one thing, you don't only learn from the faculty. At times you feel that your mindset is right, correct, and you know it all. Suddenly somebody pops out a point and you suddenly think that, oh, why didn't I think this way? And that makes you think that as the professor Saral Mukherjee says, I know nothing. Now I'm in that zone of believing in that I know nothing and there's a lot to learn. So this unlearning was very difficult, and getting back to academics was obviously difficult but enjoyable.
Thank you, Abha. Yes, Akanksha.
On the same lines like Abha said, so it's a process of unlearning and then learning. So since I am from aviation background and from the defense background, so we do the same thing. We unlearn first and then learn, and learning never ends. And I think it should be applicable to everyone. Age does not matter. And even after spending 12 and a half years in service, so I was also skeptical initially that should I join it or not. Then so many people helped me. BPGP program actually helped me in deciding that should I join it or not. I had so many last year when I joined the webinar, so I had so many doubts that however I manage timings and everything, since I'm a full-time working professional. So in my profession, there is no 9 to 5 or 9 to 6. It is 24/7, no Saturdays and no Sundays. So thanks to my service also supported me, and also for BPGP, there was times that I missed the exams and classes so many times, but the BPGP supported me, my cohort supported me. Second point, that what Abha said, your study group matters a lot. And I would say that I am the luckiest most who got the best group, because they are always there to cover me up. So whatever happened in the class or whatever I missed or whatever I'm not able to complete, yes, first semester was very tough for me because I am purely from science background. I have never studied such subjects, and I was touching these subjects after 14 years. So my group and professors were exceptional. So whatever doubt I had, very basic, very basic doubt, like a eighth class standard student, still professor cleared that what were my basic doubts. So I would say that this is one of the best decision that I made.
Thank you, Akanksha. Yes, Pooja, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Abha fooled us when she said that the first year is really tough, where at the fag end of the second year, I'm just still waiting for it to get any easier. I do feel that. So one thing that BPGP teaches you, right, is to multitask, but one task at a time. And you have to learn to prioritize, because the last thing you want to do is to be jack of all and master of none. It's very easy to be jack of all, because you're kind of doing it all. You're working, you're managing a family, you're also preparing for classes well in advance, and then going to the classes, being articulate about your class participation. And then it doesn't end there, right? You have your group assignments, you have individual assignments, you have quizzes, you have exams. It's a never ending ordeal. So, the most important thing is to learn what to say no to on the professional front, personal front, or whatever front, and then pick your choices.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Pooja. Yes, Rashmi, you want to add something?
So, do you think like your work experience or like your organization or the company that you're working made a difference with the program, with the taking up the BPGP when you took it up?
Yes, Ajit.
Yes. So again, this is also rather personal. So for example, Deepak will bring in the angle of what an entrepreneur goes through, because it's very different from asking your boss when you're the boss. But what we have noticed is, while there are various kinds of people that have entered into the BPGP program, the folks that have been able to not just bring their colleagues and their bosses on board, but are actually able to get some backing from their team, those are the folks that have found it a lot easier. So it really helps to not just inform your superiors or your whomever you report to, but actually your team at your level and below you. If they understand what you're doing, and if they understand why this course is so serious, it actually makes it a lot easier to then set expectations, have budgets with them, and work that out. A lot of us have switched organizations during the course. So what I can tell you as one of those members is also that it's not very specific to which organization you're in. It is actually about how are you maintaining the relations with your employees and your teammates and your managers. Because if you are upfront with them, and if they see you going that extra mile when you can for office, like Pooja mentioned, right? And they see you setting clear expectations, BPGP is a lot easier to do.
Thank you, Ajit. Yes, Deepak, tell us about your journey.
So one thing that I got wrong about BPGP was I was thinking I would get the ROI of joining an MBA program, only after 2 years. But to my surprise, the moment I joined IIM, it was a opening key for many doors. So it got into me into meeting rooms that I could previously not get into. So that tag of IIM actually has the value, and how it affects my work. I get to when I used to talk to CAs and I used to talk to my finance guys. They talk numbers and then I keep quiet and then they come to me for approval. Now that is not the case. I also actively participate in that discussion. So my horizon has actually increased, in terms of what contribution I can do in terms of discussion that is happening in my boardroom. So I think that was the biggest takeaway for me.
Thanks, Deepak. Yes, Nidhi.
Yep, I would like to, definitely add on to the points which were mentioned. So in my, the area where I am working, I feel, if you have a 360-degree view of things, it helps in your leadership journey as well. In this program, while you might have different phases when you have gone through certain things, but then either might have forgotten it, or it might not be to the level you expect yourself to be aware of it, right? So through this program, actually I'm able to kind of get my 360-degree view enhanced, and I'm also in my normal routine job, I'm able to apply those concepts, and that is really helping me out. So if you ask, if you ask, like, if I have to say to my boss, I think he'll be definitely happy with my choice, because he is getting the ROI more than I am getting it, I would say, just to say that. But then, definitely ROI would be better for me after a point. But then he is seeing the ROI, because, if I look into data engineering as well, just from the technology side of things. And then we have this operations management, beautifully talking about scheduling, queuing, and all those things, right? And I see I'm able to build better solutions, after going through these new concepts, I would say, which are being, taught to the level of you can right away apply them, right? So that is the, I would say, beauty of being in a working space and still continuing your learning. That is the first part to it. And one more good part is that somehow the schedules are such that it doesn't clash too much with your, I would say, working hours. It is on a work. If you have a 5-day week, it is Thursday and Friday evenings, which I believe you can always juggle the priorities around it. If you have to manage your classes, Sundays mornings are pretty tight, but then you get rest of the day to yourself, and you can study or finish up all other chores that you have, right? So I feel this course is pretty balanced in that aspect. I have also come across other similar programs in other IIMs, but I would say either they were full, weekend courses, or they were very much like you have to miss a Friday, on a routine basis and go to the classes, right? Those kind of programs. So I am kind of finding this schedule, which is right now set up for us, much better than all other, different programs which I see currently available.
Yes, Kaushik, wanted to add something.
I will give you a couple of small examples. Like if you are handling a big team, like I'm handling a team of around 100 people. So you have to have a knowledge of various sectors, like let's say HR. So the HR point of view, which the professor have taught, all the theories and the practical application, be it OD, organizational design, or communication. So these are the aspects which actually help me in order to manage the bigger team effectively. Also, the way when I represent India to the level of US, because J&J is a US multinational, the appreciation of difference in culture, that is also being taught in this course. So what are the different culture, how to approach this so that they can understand your point of view. So these are the professional things which help me. On a lighter note, personally, when my sons, when he found that I am giving so much effort, he was also motivated, and now right now he is doing his BMS from one of the IIMs. So it is a kind of dual win for me. Thank you.
So Kaushik is one of those students who has a son also pursuing an MBA from IIMA. How does that feel, Kaushik? You and your son, are you battling out your scores with each other?
Yeah, it's a kind of competition. When in some subject I score A, so he also get motivated to give the best effort, and that's a kind of a healthy competition ongoing inside the house.
I think this is the best kind of inter-IIMA collaboration that we could have ever asked for.
Yeah.
But when we talk about schedules, the way you said, Nidhi, that it works for you, a lot of people, I'm sure, who've joined us today to hear from you guys will have this question: what does a day in the life of a BPGP student look like, who is juggling work, personal commitments, and pursuing a full-time MBA with as much academic rigor as any other MBA program? So tell us, guys. Yes, Ajit.
Yes. So there is a significant amount of effort involved in this course. This is not a course that you do casually. And if you ask any of us in our batch or even our juniors, that is one of the best parts of this MBA program, because everybody involved in the program knows it's not just a stamp. That's not how IIMA works. So the way the classes work is classes happen on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings after work, 6:30 to 9:30 Indian Standard Time. And then on Saturdays from around 8:45 a.m. till, on Sundays from around 8:45 a.m. till about 1:30, you have classes. Generally, for each class, there is, if it's one class is 1 hour 15 minutes long. If it's a 1 hour 15 minutes class, there is somewhere between 20 to 40 minutes prep that you have to do for each of those classes. So what we typically do is that on Monday, we get up, we look at what we have to do in the coming week, both from a work point of view as well as from an IIMA point of view. And we kind of make sure that our prep work is actually done before, we hit Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That is how it generally works. That workload does fluctuate from time to time. Some subjects might be harder for you than it is for your batchmates. So maybe you're prepping harder. Typically in your first year, every Sunday, there is some exam or test or the other. You get very used to taking those well, because you get used to understanding that in your class, whatever you've paid attention, that's most of the prep you need to do for your exams. There's also group projects. Those also take a significant amount of time. So I would say outside class hours, somewhere between 7 to 10 hours, you'll end up giving this program. Where you will find those 7 to 10 hours, you'll be as surprised as we were.
Yes, Abha.
I think I'll continue to what Ajit said. Those 7 to 10 hours, you have to find it, from your own schedule. And you would be astonished to know that you had that time. And the most important part is, and the most wonderful part is, we are studying and we are working. So you study here, you go and implement there. That's the best part one can do. Normal MBA, I think I will not, say that others are not doing it well, but in normal MBA, you study, you accumulate, and then you go and implement. Here, I did it absolutely almost every day, and I tried to relate my work with it. So every day you study and you have an opportunity to implement there. You get that opportunity, implement there. That is revision itself for yourself. Next part is, this is case pedagogy, which we have. So reading cases were very important for us, and living through the life of a CEO. The number of cases you read, you live that many lives of the CEO. So I found it very interesting. Every minute of your next 2 years, I feel that has to be very calibrated and has to be prioritized, as Pooja said. You cannot say yes to all. I, being a mother of two, and a job which requires as such 24/7, because project sites are going on, there are problems going on that side. Marketing has financial deadlines. So for me, it was like semesters where financial targets were there. There were times where sites were going on, the summer times where sites were off. Then peak was there for exams going on in the MBA. So kind of it was modulated. But yes, 100%, this is not a course which one can say that you can go for tag mil jayega. No, not at all. It has to be a serious business, and inclination has to be there. You have to let go many things, but trust me, it is a very enjoyable journey. I thoroughly enjoy.
Thank you, Abha. Yes, Deepak.
I agree with Abhay that it's very enjoyable journey, but from an entrepreneur's perspective, I'm fortunate enough to not have a fixed office time, but that also means that I'm unfortunate enough to be on a 24/7 call. So and I also travel a lot, to meet with different investors and different clients. So that means I'm always on the move during the class hours. But fortunately, many professors are okay with some of us traveling during, as long as we, engaged in the class and we do not disturb the others. But that is really helpful. And I was also unfortunate to get married during the my first year. So I still remember that I attended my lab class by Mr. Professor Ram Mohan between my haldi thing. So that is how interesting the classes were actually were. So if you miss one class, then you tend to miss a subsequent concept that is taught. So some programs are very linear. So in terms of how do we manage that, like Arjit said earlier, many of us tend to do all the homework early in the week, so that in the coming week, the academic work at least is sorted well early in the week, so that we are relatively free when the actual course is coming up.
Thank you, Deepak. Yes, Akanksha, tell us.
Ajit sir said this program requires hard work, but also sacrifice. So on weekends, when you really want to go out or you want to chill with your friends, then you cannot. You have to choose between both. So like I'm a morning person. I cannot be. I am not able to awake after 10 o'clock. So the moment class gets over, I am dead beat in the bed. But yes, I'm an early morning person. I get up at 4:30. My office starts by 7:30. So I utilize that early morning 3 hours every day, and that reading, thanks to reading the case studies, that has brought me back into the reading. And now the funny part is I carry printout because I am not allowed with the smartphones and smart devices in my office. So I carry printouts in my pocket in my uniform. And now I am started reading in cockpit also. So whenever I I hand over controls to my co-pilot, and there was a funny thing that I just shot. I had an economics exam, and the same day I had a flying also. So I was reading my notes. I was going through the notes in the cockpit itself. So sometimes yes, you have to manage. So whenever I get time, my job contains 99% times it's field work. So wherever I am, I carry my pocket notes. I carry my printouts, and I am everywhere. Now people have started calling it out that look at the Akanksha, she's studying all the time. Wherever she is just studying for her studies. So you have to manage time. Extra time you will not get, nothing more than 24 hours. And the best thing is I used to think that I am a very good at time management, but no, BPGP has taught me that no, you can get that time, and time is always running short no matter what you do. So
And
either you choose to scroll the reels, or in that 10 minutes while having lunch, you can take out your notes and you can revise that what today professor is going to discuss. So time you have to manage.
and very soon the favorite time in the clock will be 11:59:59. That
Yes,
is the timing where we have
absolutely.
to submit our assignments, our whatever project, etc.
Yes,
And that deadline is sacrosanct. And trust me, that brings also discipline.
yes.
Because when you are in a corporate, you are having meeting time, start, finish, that kind of discipline is required. So 11:59:59 means that's it.
Thank you, guys. I think we don't want to scare our participants too much by telling them too many truths right away. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, Rashmi, you wanted to ask something.
So I think many of the participants here in the webinar have questions on how you prepared for your entrance test or interviews. So if any of you would like to throw some light on that.
Yeah, but what was that moment that you decided that, yes, this is what I'm going to do for the next 2 years of my life? Yes, Deepak.
So actually, I gave my CAT exams. So I got in through CAT, and my preparation was very simple. I took the CAT Rakesh Sharma's book, and that is how the preparation went for me. I actually tried to enroll in a normal MBA program from another IIM, but then I dropped out of that course because I couldn't manage both the full-time MBA as well as my business. So then, luckily, one of my friend who is actually a second year now introduced me to that program, earlier on. So then I applied to it, and that's how I got into this.
Yeah, we're lucky to have you, Deepak, and not lose you
Thank
to
you.
another IIMA. Yes, Pooja.
Yeah, actually, similar to Deepak, I gave my GMAT and was about to go to the Ivy Leagues, but then came across this course, kind of realized that hey, how great is it to be in the industry working at the same time? So applied and thankfully, luckily got in. In terms of the interview, I mean, IIT is something that I think Ajit Abha would be well positioned to answer. But I think in terms of the interview, guys, you would only have 15 to 20 minutes. One of the most important advices when it comes to interview is to be calm because you will be put in a spot to answer difficult questions that you may or may not have experienced in your professional life. But be calm and kind of walk them through your thought process. Nobody is looking for the right answer. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Deepak, you wanted to add something?
Oh, no, sorry, that was from earlier.
Okay. Ajit, you want to tell us about IIT?
Yes, I wish I had more to add here, but I mean, so we were part of the first batch. I heard about the BPGP from a newspaper ad that my wife found, and we applied soon after I saw that ad, within I think 40 days or something. I didn't do any specific preparations for the IIT, but I have done the GMAT in the past and the CAT in the past. It's not very different. There are some questions that are put out. Those are along the lines of what you see during the IIT. I agree with everything Pooja said about the interview. It is meant to be conversational. They want to understand, what are your motivations for doing a BPGP? How are you going to manage it along with your work and your home life? And whether they just want to know if you're the kind of person that will actually see this through. because it's a very big commitment and they don't want you to make a commitment you can't see through. That's about it.
Thanks, Ajit. Yes, Abha.
I came in through IIT, and this fortunately happened to be this ad seemed to come across my husband's some browsing, and he said that he has done it from another IIM. So he said that would I had got this opportunity, I would have taken this, and I wouldn't have had done that. So with his repentance, he wanted it that at least somebody does it. So he pushed me, and I said I had 1 year old that time. So sharing with the group that it was a difficult decision to make. As such, for studies, since he had prepared for it, so I was constantly with him. But per se, I did not put efforts in my full capacity. Yes, 10, 15 days, a little browsing with those standard 10th to 12th formulas or certain probability things. That was okay. So yeah, how difficult was IIT is very subjective question. It may vary from person to person because the center where I was there and I had some of my friends who were appearing, none of them went through IIT, and I only could clear, wherein I thought my preparations were very less than those who had come for. So I think that is a different thing. But as far as the interview is concerned, I think being grounded and to an extent, yeah, they put you on the spot, and I was made to realize that there is a lot to learn, and I felt that I know a lot about certain subjects which were my core strength subjects, but I failed in the interview on certain points itself. So, but that is an eye opener also. But stay grounded, stay humble, don't laugh, and I don't think they want anybody who are too good, because if you're too good, then you need not learn, right? If you think you're too good. So we are here to learn. So I think they're looking for people who are passionate and learners.
Thank you, Abha. So, guys, when we're talking about admissions, like Rashmi asked, if now having done considerable amount of BPGP, if you had to tell something to yourself on day one of when you say entered the campus at the time of your induction, what would that be? What would you tell yourself? Any thoughts? Yes, Pooja.
I would tell myself that feeling inadequate is the best feeling in the world. First of all, own it. Because think about it this way, that if you've gotten into IIM Ahmedabad, before IIMA, you probably were one of the best people in the room in terms of thinking or in terms of intellect. Now, all those mad people are put in the same room. So imagine the kind of brilliance that exudes from one single room at any given time, right? It's very easy to compare yourself with your peers, but do remember that different people come from different backgrounds. People have their strengths, people have their weaknesses. Do not compare yourself only on the basis of grades. Take it easy and go a little light on yourself, especially in the first term. And yeah, I mean, put in the effort and don't get demotivated. It's very easy to get demotivated, first of all. So don't get demotivated. Own inadequacy in a way that you should want to step up and be better. Yeah, that's my advice.
Thank you, Pooja. I think that was beautifully put. Anyone else has any thoughts that they would like to share? Okay, shall we move to the next question then? Yes, Rashmi, you want to ask something?
So, has there been any experience? I'm sure it won't be a singular experience, but has there been any experience till now where you have seen that any faculty member, any instructor or mentor has gone beyond the actual classroom learning and maybe helped you out, or like been a mentor to you in a way that's actually helped you not just within the BPGP but also like it may have affected your life also in a positive way, whichever way? Yeah.
Yes, Kaushik.
Yeah, so I will give you two types of the example. One is the support professor provides above and beyond. That is point number one. So I will give you a classic example, some concept which I was not getting cleared in finance. So, and generally what we do after classes, we read till, let's say, midnight. So I drop an email to one of the Professor Joshija, around 11:50. And 12:15, the response was available in my mailbox. So that is the kind of rigor. Second, professor in economics, he has given very clear-cut mandate from morning 7 to 11, anytime you can disturb. So that is the kind of support they provide us. Point number one. Point number two, in terms of some of the guidance, I don't want to quote the name of the professor. Even if you approach them personally or professionally for some of the challenges you are facing in personal life or professional life, they are always accommodative. They listen carefully, they provide right direction, and they coach and they mentor to provoke thoughts which we can apply on day-to-day basis. So both from a education part as well as from a personal part, they are super helpful.
Thank you, Kaushik. Yes, Abha.
Yeah, I'll just give a small instance. I was in the midst of a negotiation, and I won't name the party and I won't name the professor. I was in the midst of a negotiation, and suddenly it clicked me that this details about the country Japan, there's no other professor who would have it on the tip of fingers and who would just give me the details. So I just WhatsApp the professor. Can you imagine? Middle of the boardroom, people, I'm sitting at the backside, people are all discussing, and I'm just putting to the professor, can you please tell me this quickly? And the professor replies me back, and I'm the hero in the room. Boom, and as if I have just known it, and I cracked it. The deal was cracked in a very good way. So I think that confidence that they are approachable, not only in the classroom, only for studies, but also for such instances, that gives you a lot of backing as far as I am alumni or I am professors are concerned. I am library also is very good asset. I think, ma'am, you have not asked me, but let me put that also for many times resources from library help you like wonders. So I think that has helped me many times. I've leveraged on that also.
Thank you, Abha. Yes, Deepak.
So I wanted to give two examples. One was from our MC professor, and another one was the Professor Demon. So both of them actually conducted many tutorial classes outside the class hours, and they also had a very liberal free hours or office hours where you can go and approach them with any kind of problem. So it so happened that in one of the Excel class, in the MC class, the professor has taught the whole theory, the whole thing. And towards the end of the class, a few students approached us, said, we did not understand anything that you told for the past 2-3 classes. And the professor, we thought that he would get really angry that why did you not tell me this before? But then he was calmly just telling that you tell me your availability, I will clear my schedule so that we can have a personal one-on-one call where I will clear all your doubts. And I've not seen this kind of a warmth and professional. It's not even professional. It's beyond professional approach to the course and to the teaching.
Thank you, Deepak. Yes, Sajid.
So we've spoken so much about how big a network you make when you come to IIMA and from your batchmates and from your alumni, but the sooner you realize how nodal the network from your professors is, the better you are or better off you are. There have been folks who have started entire new businesses right now and who have just done it on the base of walking up to the right professor based on the discipline you're in and just saying, look, I'm trying to do this. And then the professor tells you exactly whom they should get you in touch with. And we've mentioned before, just what kind of stalwarts these professors are. So the places that they have access to, the people that come to them for advice, it's simply not what you can imagine if you haven't already met IIMA professors. Somebody wanted to do their PhD after this and has been put in touch with Nobel laureates. There is somebody that wanted to, like I said, launch a business. That what Abha mentioned, it's simply it's not something I can overstate what the professors can do for you. But of course, it has to be, you have to be earnest about it and you have to want it. And they're more than happy to make things happen.
Thanks, Ajit. Yes, Nidhi.
Yeah, I think I agree to everything what is being said, and I just want to add in a little bit to it. So our cohort is very, I would say, very experimentative, and they actually go out and bring real world problems. They try to understand that a lot, I would say, and I think whoever, whichever professor has taught us till now, they have been very kind enough to kind of look at all the real world issues which gets thrown to them at midnight, or or some other time, and they very happily try to correct your path, or maybe give you a different view, and they just answer it so beautifully. And it is for the, it might be one to one, or it is, if it makes sense, it is shared with the entire class. But then that is how things are. It is not just limited to what is there in the books, it is not just limited to what is the curriculum, it goes much beyond it, right? So that is something which is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Deepak, you wanted to add something.
Yeah, I wanted to add a point. More than how professors help us, the beauty of this BPGP course is that your cohort is also an expert in what they are doing. Many of them come with years of experience. So that means that you can always get a much faster, or a much more friendlier advice from your peers as well. So there has been multiple cases, which I personally know of, where one person has helped other person to get a job, or to solve a very critical issue that they're facing in their office. So the kind of support that is created is not only from the academic and the institution, but it's also from your peer group. And this peer group is a expert kind of a group, so that gives a lot of value when you're not asking for help.
Yeah, thank you, Deepak. We've talked a lot about the serious parts of BPGP when we talk about academics and rigor and faculty and being up until and maybe not sleeping at all. Do we have fun in BPGP also? Do you guys want to tell us what kind of fun things we do?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go first because since we only get a limited time on campus, we try to not sleep, and then that affects the next day. Don't do that. That's not what I recommend. A lot of my friends hate me for making them do that already. But yeah, I think the moments that we get on campus are so precious. We get to interact with each other. It's incredibly fun, especially because we try to meet within our own cities as well. IIMA has given me one of my some of my closest friends, and I'm sure that that's happened for Abha Aji that I know of, and so many others. It's uncanny. I don't know how it has happened. I am not somebody that happens to have best friends, but it's crazy.
Thanks, Pooja. Anyone else wants to add anything? Yes, Deepak, tell me.
In the starting of the course, if you had told me that I would remember additional 150 names in my mind, just by seeing their face, I could remember somebody's name. That could have been impossible. But then if I go now, I can remember everybody and have a personal connect with everybody. So we actually get a very limited time in the campus, but that becomes more valuable to us. So the 1 week that we spend there, it's all about learning, arguing, debating what is going on in the morning, and then what to do is like chilling with your friends in the evening. So it has got that balance.
Yes, Akanksha.
The only objective to come to college and look forward after every 3 months is that I get to relive my college days. So I really miss my school days and college days. So after 10 years, after more than a decade, I get to relive it. I love the campus. I love to enjoy with the friends. So I sleep. That feeling of sleeping in the class now after every like two sessions is amazing. It's exceptional. It's beyond the words. So it's amazing. You get to sit with your friends after the classes till 12 o'clock in the night. You are enjoying inside the campus only. You don't want to leave only the campus. And you just really wish that the night gets over so fast and again you want to come back to the campus in the morning. So, and that the gossip corners. That is amazing. So, other than studies and everything, these small things of reliving your young time is very beautiful.
Yes, Ajit.
Yeah, and you get only 1 week in those 4 months in person, but even the rest of the time, I completely understand why Pooja, myself, Kaushik, Abha, all of us have found best friends here, because the rest of your time also during your entire course, you're free at times that nobody else except IIMA students or BPGP students are free, right? And they're the only ones in your life whom you don't have to explain, why are you tired? What are you currently concerned about? Why are you free on Saturday morning but not Saturday? So those those people are the ones that you end up hanging out with the most. Yeah, we have WhatsApp groups which are very active. I am 35 to 40% of these people's WhatsApp, just myself alone. So yes, we have a lot of fun. We have city meetups. Kaushik da, we call him Dada. He stays in Aurangabad, and he drove down to Mumbai just to hang out with us for one evening, and then went back just a few months ago. I'll hand over.
Yeah, Nidhi.
Yeah, I think, definitely the campus experience is there, which happens every term, but the fun kind of extends much beyond it. So, well, I am in Bangalore, and every other Sunday, we have kind of outings in terms of people either just go out eat, or, they just go out for some bowling, or maybe after a bad test, they just want to cry together, right? So that also happens. And the crying part, right, it necessarily doesn't happen in a hotel. So it also happens online. People get together after a bad test and they cry together, right? So the fun element is definitely there. When you see others crying, you feel a bit happy about it, right? So yeah, that is how it is. It is definitely a very enjoyable journey.
I think it is safe to say that at BPGP, we really live the till what? In sickness and in health, in joy and sadness, we are together conquering this program. Guys, of course, we are short of time. So I'll tell all the participants who've joined us that please raise your hand if you have a question while we take some parting comments from our students. If you had to tell us one thing very quickly to our participants who've joined us today, who maybe applied, are on verge of applying, what is that one thing that you would like to tell them that would kind of push them and make them enroll for this program? And let's not scare them too much. Yes, who would like to go first? Yes, Abha.
I think don't think, just go for it, and things will all fall in place. And it does fall in place. And trust me, it's what you're investing is not just the fees. What you'll be investing is your time. And I think fees seem to be very small at the end of it. What I have learned in the last 2 years seems to be more significant. So just go for it. Don't think much on this. Two pivotal reasons. One is, if you really are thinking on it, that means you're already on the growth path. Once you have thought for doing something, means you're already on the growth path. You already want to grow. You're determined that you're growth. Now, only the thing is that you have to plunge in. Yes or no is your decision. IIMA or something else is your decision. But if you ask me, this is a program which I'm leveraging and many of my friends are doing. We are the testimonies to it. So rather than thinking on the tougher part, just go for it.
Thank you, Abha. Yes, Nidhi.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, don't miss the opportunity, right? This is the right time. Just go for it, as Abha is saying. Put in your best, right? Just prep well across all the concepts, whatever are generally applicable in all these kind of exams, and be your authentic self, right? Just don't fear, you have to have that, keep up your energy and passion till the end, and I think it will sail you through.
Thanks. Yes, Pooja.
Okay, first of all, if you want to stick to your current organization, make sure you have your organization's backing 100% for you to do this course, because it takes a lot out of you. It will take time out of your work hours. Secondly, if you're looking to pivot, like Deepak said, the ROI of BPGP, a lot of us talk about placements, but what we don't understand, and what something that we also probably did not anticipate at the start, is that BPGP, just the fact that you're doing an MBA BPGP while you're doing it will open an insane amount of doors, career opportunities, entrepreneurial opportunities. People will start taking you seriously. So you don't have to wait till the end of the second year, and you don't have to have a myopic view about thinking about placements so much. It depends on you, what you do with your degree.
Thanks, Pooja. Yes, Kaushik.
So I will also say two part. One part Pooja has nicely covered. So of course, ensure that your company is backing you because there will be such I would say clashes which you have to help them to understand and manage. The second part, don't worry about the course. We have a culture of cohort who helps each other. Like Ajit, if any of the balance sheet is not being managed, Ajit is there to support. Similarly, if suppose I have to make a great presentation, Abha is there. We have worked till 1:30, 2 o'clock together. So the cohort is amazing, and they will at time pull you up so that you can finish the course effectively. So trust on your cohort, they will support you, and this will be a very smooth journey, and definitely you will achieve the goal.
Thank you, Kaushik. Yes, Ajit.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that all of you have gotten in, and I'm going to tell you that you will get the most out of this program if you're very clear on what you want from this program. And I can tell you right now, it's not marks. You're not here for marks. You're here to learn, you're here to make networks, and you're here to really grow. Be very clear with yourself and make sure you get those things out of the program.
Thanks, Ajit. Yes, Deepak.
So more than informing your office, also inform your family, because your partner, your parents, siblings, they have to give immense support to you for you to even cross this. I can see all my friends laughing. But then I would put BPGP is like a roller coaster, and if you're in the line watching other people going in the roller coaster and they're screaming, it is not because it's too tough or too difficult. It's because they're enjoying at the same time also. So is it really worth it? If you ask someone that is coming out of the roller coaster, it always is. So if you are on the queue and then if you want to get in the roller coaster, by all means, you should fight your way through it.
Thanks, Deepak. Now let's take questions from our participants.
Gauri, you can just unmute yourself.
Yeah, hello everyone. It was quite an informative session. Thank you. So my question is, so I have two questions. First, I just came to know about this course like yesterday, and I am from a research background. So I'm currently working as a research scientist in a biological setup in a pharma company, around 8 years of experience and zero management experience. So, will this course benefit me in a way wherein I can get into a management field in any pharma setup? Because it's a heavy investment, is the first question. And the second is, I have very limited time in my hand, around a month's time. So, how would you, suggest me to invest this 1 month in preparation? I have never given any MBA entrance till date. Yeah, thank you.
Any of you guys want to help her? Yes, Ajit. I think I see you
No,
nodding.
since it is pharma, I would really suggest Dada takes that as well.
Or even Deepak can do that.
Okay, Deepak. Please go.
I am from the thanks guys. I am from the medtech domain. I am also I also have another master's degree. I did my master's in product design from IISc, and I really thought why to do an I mean that was the common question that people ask me, why are you doing another master's after being after having another master's degree. But the truth is that it widens up your horizon. So that was a technical deep drill down. So if you take a T kind of a model, the other masters was drilling down deep to my technical knowledge, and this is the horizontal of the T. So it makes you jack of all trades, and then if you're already having a specialization, that makes you also the king of that particular trade. So the more you expand your horizon, the better it is for you to drill. So your basement is built so that you can drill deeper. And in terms of preparing, I think 1 month is more than enough to do preparation for CAT and IIT. All you have to do is due diligently read the CAT material. You can take help of YouTube. I wouldn't personally I wouldn't suggest going to any coaching center, but if you prefer to, you can do. But I personally watched a lot of YouTube videos and prepared with the 3 Rakesh book for my CAT exam. That is how I got it.
Just to
Thanks.
add,
Sorry,
yeah.
I would just like to beg to differ. I think Deepak is this extraordinary brainiac. When he said that 1 month, I don't think CAT takes 1 month of prep. CAT or GMAT, I would recommend a minimum of 2.5 months if you're like properly doing it to get a good score. Deepak is, I'm saluting it.
Pooja, I think Gauri is going to take the IIT. The CAT is anyway in November.
Yeah.
So for the IIT, yeah, 1 month should be enough. But I mean, it's a competitive exam. So you want to make sure you do well enough to make the cut. So you want to spend as much time as you can, and it'll also give you an idea, Gauri, in how much time you do have for studies or how much time you can make.
Gauri,
Yeah.
I had myself never given any entrance exams like aptitude entrance exams. I did give GATE technical ones, but never gave an exam of CAT, GMAT, something. So if I can do it, you can do it. Don't worry. Go for it.
Well put up. Yes, Kaushik, you were saying something before.
So I think preparation wise, they have given you the guidance. From a application orientation, since you are in R&D in pharma, of course, see, at some given point of time, you have to manage team, right? So how to manage team, how to put the business case. If you are going for a product profile and you are putting a case in front of your senior management, how to present that case. So all this encompasses what will this course will help you to put this perspective in a right kind of way. So that's where you can apply the learning of your 2-year MBA, and it will slowly turn you to a business oriented person. So pharma R&D to a business orientation, this journey will help you.
Thanks, Kaushik. Yes, Nidhi, very quickly.
Yeah, I just want to add in that, pace your exam well, because that is going to help you kind of crack it, so that if you have any simpler questions somewhere, right? I mean, I'm just saying that is one of the ways to tackle kind of a complex or there is a mix of questions out there, right? So pace your exam well so that you can just at least manage to sail through all the questions and pick up the right ones wherever you can.
Thank you, Nidhi. Yes, Anant.
Yeah, hi. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
Anant, please go ahead with your
Yeah,
question.
firstly, I would like to say I've been to IIMA Ahmedabad campus and I was doing this course, YEP, Young Entrepreneurship Program. And I think it's one of the best campus and good to go. After coming to the campus, I felt like that I really want to upskill my skills. And then I came across this course called BPGP. So there was a fest going on. And during that time, I met a lot of people through of BPGP, sorry. And then this interest came into me of applying for it. So just like me being an entrepreneur, first generation, I have started my journey. So at times you feel like that you're stuck and you want to have that cohort also to help you out. And me not completing my educational bag, like fully education of doing masters. So I'm thinking of BPGP. So just wanted your recommendation. How is like are they only corporates or they are like people like entrepreneurs also in the cohort? And secondly, also like what Gauri asked that I haven't prepared anything. Okay, so I'm gonna start from tonight or maybe from tomorrow for IIT. I don't have any GMAT score with me as well or GRE or a TOEFL or anything. So wanting to know about both these two things
I think
specifically.
before I give it on to you guys, Anant, I mean, of course, the cohorts we currently have, let me tell you, Akanksha here, of course, comes from defense. She's already given an introduction. That's one of a kind. We have doctors who are part of our cohorts. We have entrepreneurs. We have people who've moved from being service to entrepreneurship, like Ajit had mentioned. So there are no restrictions really to where you come from, and there are no restrictions in the aspirations that you have that you can take forward from BPGP as well. So you're more than welcome. So don't keep that apprehension in your mind at all. And we
Cool.
also have somebody who's done PhD and is now pursuing an MBA. So I think we don't put any sort of filtration restrictions to that extent. As far as the experience within the cohort, I think I'll let the students answer that. So guys, you can take it up now. Yes, Ajit.
Yeah, I'll start. Anant, as an entrepreneur, what will happen through BPGP is, of course, some of the learnings are immediate application for yourself. Plus, you don't need another person's approval to apply it. You can just apply it. You can see each case that Abha mentioned. Each case is looking at one business problem from the lens of a CEO, which is so relevant for an entrepreneur. You'll also make connections. You'll meet a lot of people that will be able to help your business grow to the next level. But none of this will happen on autopilot. It takes doing. And on that note, you're going to start tonight, not tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good advice, Ajit. I think for BPGP students, it's always happening right now. Never push things for later.
Yeah, but kudos to all of you guys like studying in IIM Ahmedabad. It's one of the best campus and one of the best time of your life right now. Because after staying there for 15 days, I was like blown away and I didn't wanted to leave the campus, the food, the professors, each and everything. So that's why me coming back to IIM through BPGP because that's the good fix for me. It's just that like I'm just apprehensive like how am I gonna prepare for IIT within a month? Let's see.
We hope to see you, Anant, soon on campus as part of BPGP. Yes,
100%.
Shubham, please go ahead, ask your question.
Hi.
Yes, Shubham, go ahead.
Hi. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes. So my question was is that I am right now staying at Ahmedabad. My job is at Ahmedabad. So will I be able to, if I am getting selected, so will I be able to access the campus, or I will only get to access the campus in those 7 days per term?
If you want to take it.
Yeah. So Shubham, as a student of IIMA, I believe all our participants also know of this. So when you get into IIMA, it's for life. It's never 5 days or 7 days of your program that you'll be here. So once you are a part of IIMA, you're there for life. And the resources are also available to all students anytime they want to use.
Yeah. The campus immersions are mainly only a component of the program so that our students don't completely feel as if they are not on campus. So that is the beauty of the blended program that we are offering. Yes, Abha.
I think, Shubham, you will get the best of the two worlds. If you're in Ahmedabad, you can go and physically even study in the library, which we get only for a stipulated time. Plus, libraries as such online also you get resources if you want to read. Also, you can go to the professors and boggle their head and talk to them a little while you are on the campus, and they are open to they're not open, okay, they love when you come there, they're looking forward to see you there, so you can clear your doubts in person if you come to the program.
And we have
Thanks, Abha.
examples. We have a couple of cohorts from either Ahmedabad or Bhadnagar. And I know for sure Ahmedabad one, whenever there is a doubt, he just calls the professor, take an appointment, and go and clarify the doubts. So it's
Even he
very, very
takes our
normal.
doubts, even
Pardon?
he takes our doubts and gets it clarified
You
for
also
us.
convey our doubts and get clarification. So it's very normal.
You are actually more lucky than us because every
Yes,
week there is some event happening in the college,
I agree.
and the people who are staying in Ahmedabad they get to attend those event, those classes every week. So
Yes.
I would say that you are more lucky than us.
And you will see the number of program happens because you'll be part of the common mail ID where you will
Yes.
see that every alternate day there is some worldwide known some say professors or some research scholar are coming and delivering some of the speeches. So you'll be lucky.
Yes, absolutely. Let's move on quickly to the last two questions. AK, please go ahead and ask your question.
I want to ask one thing like is this course considered equivalent to full-time course or executive program with respect to banks granting loan and all? Because contact charge is more than 900, but normally they are saying it is executive only.
No, AK, this is a 2-year degree granting program. So at the end of this program, you will receive an MBA degree. That means it is just offered in a blended format and it is offered to working professionals. That is why it can often be misunderstood as an executive education program. But and as far as bank loans are concerned, both our cohorts have students who have taken bank loans to sponsor their this program. So you can be rest assured that there will be no issues with that. They recognize this program at most banks. You can also visit our website where we have listed some of the banks that we have partnered with for financing options.
In that Bank of Baroda only they were given 15 lakhs, not 20 lakhs. And one more thing I want to know, like
Yes.
they are also one more thing apart from that. If you remember, we met this Bangalore this Sunday,
Yes.
and that I sent to email Apurv
Yes. Yes. Tell me.
that we have met this Bangalore. So yes, Jacob sir told you to that railway guy you connect me.
Yes, we will connect separately to take that
हाँ,
forward, AK. I'm just going to now take other questions if that's okay with you. Yes, Vivek. Please go ahead with your question.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for, first of all, thanks everyone for taking out time and giving us the valuable feedbacks that you all had your journey. So I have just one question. I actually applied for the BPGP program last year as well. And unfortunately, because I cleared my IIT exam, so I got a bit maybe overconfident and I took the further things a bit casually. I messed up a few things during my interview process. So I just want some guidance on how I can be more prepared for my interview this time. Although I've already started preparing for my IIT, but I just want to have some guidance so that how I can go like for my interview preps.
Yeah. Guys, anything that you want to shed a light on?
So see, they in the interview they will mostly check your how confident you are, how much you are interested in the course, and what is your vision and mission. That is the main thing, and they will push you. I mean, like they were asking continuously to ensure that how, while you are a plan director, how do you maintain the spirit of the cohort, the demand of the cohort. So if your vision is clear, things will go normally. So you need not to prepare something very specific. Of course, there are few things like when will ask you to introduce yourself, how some smart way you can put you can answer that. But beyond that, you have to just have clarity on thought, which will drive the next answer for the next questions. So that's my experience, and they generally try to probe your interest part.
Yeah. Well said, Kaushik.
I would say that just true to yourself. Don't make up any things. If you don't know, you don't know. And gen up, second point is gen up yourself. You should be, I would suggest, because the basic question was asked to me was what is happening around the world and what is happening in India. So just gen up yourself for next 1 month. Keep reading from and keep watching news, what is happening and how it can correlate in today's world. Third point is your objective should be clear what you are answering. So you should know, just practice in your mind that why you are want to join, why you are doing this course, and what is the objective and what is the aim you are looking for. So don't get confused by yourself in the mid of the answers, because that is why interviewer is there to make you more confused. So just you should be crystal clear in your mind what do you want to answer. If you don't know anything or if you're confused, then just call it out. That's it.
Yeah.
Well put, Akanksha. Yes. Jai Krishna?
Could you please unmute? Yes.
Can you share insights on the
Jai Krishna, we're unable to hear you. I think in the light of time, can we take the last question, Rishikesh?
Yeah. Hi everyone. So I see a lot of experienced guys here with an average experience of maybe 8, 9 years. I come from a software background and I have like 3.5 years of experience. So do you guys think that this MBA is going to be very beneficial for me with 3.5 years of experience? And like my future goal is to transition to the product management roles. So do you think this is going to be like super beneficial for me, or should I go for the offline one? I can write CAT as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone from you would like to take it up? I think it's a direct question to our students.
Yeah. So I think, I think you are the lucky one because see, at your age, there are a lot of people in our batch who are of your age. And you are lucky because if you are right now 26, 27 and you will be graduated maybe around 29, you have another 30 years to apply this. On the contrary, when I will be getting, I have lesser time. So you are lucky one. Second thing is that MBA gives makes you generalist. It's not it's specialization in finance or operations. No, I am giving you a generalist. So when you are becoming generalist, it is very easy for you to switch the lane. So be it product management, be it operation management or finance. So they prepare you for everything. So you can apply your knowledge to any domain.
Yeah. Yes, Abha.
No, one more point, I think, Kaushika, we should not think that coming into this program will help me to, switch or not. I mean, I think the question itself is a little tricky for us because this program does not ensure that you can switch to product management or project management roles. Of course, it will equip you so that if you have that inherent quality of doing it, you can do it much better, right? So I'll put it in very plain words that don't expect that, oh, I have done this, now I can go with the management role. No, that I don't think that is what this is for. Or any MBA per se, does not make you genie in 1 or 2 years. If you have it, you will do it. But yes, you will be equipped well to do it in a good way.
Okay. Thank you, Abba. I think in the advent of time, we are almost quite late. And of course, all our students have classes tomorrow, along with a very hectic work schedule, I'm sure. So, all you guys who still have questions, please feel free to write it. You will get the details of our email ID and our contact numbers in the chat box right now. So, feel free to write to us or call us. We will answer your questions as best as we can. And thank you all for joining. Thank you to the 7 of you, especially for taking out time from such a hectic schedule to help us talk to the prospective candidates and tell us what the lived experience of BPGP is like. Thank you so much, guys. This is us signing out. Good night. Take care.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Priyanka. Thank you,
everyone.
Nitin. All the best, everyone.
Yeah, all the best.
All the best, guys.